Imagine a floating city, 20 stories tall, 1,100 feet long, weighing 100,000 tons. This is not a cruise ship. This is not a luxury hotel. This is a weapon that cost $13 billion to build, a weapon that carries more firepower than most nations possess. A weapon that on January 2nd, 2026, sat in the Caribbean Sea, 227 nautical miles north of Caracas, Venezuela, preparing to execute the most audacious military operation in modern American history. This is the USS Gerald R. Ford, CVN-78, the first of her class, the most technologically advanced aircraft carrier ever built. And for the sailors, aviators, and cooks aboard her, January 2nd was not just another day at sea. It was the day they would help capture a dictator. Welcome aboard. The steel is cold, the ocean is dark, and in 18 hours over 150 aircraft will launch into the night sky in perfect coordination. This is their story, 0400 hours. The Galley is alive. While most of the ship sleeps in three-tier bunks stacked like coffins, the culinary specialists are already sweating. The galley on the Ford is enormous compared to a submarine, but it is still a factory. Stainless steel surfaces, industrial ovens, fryers the size of bathtubs. The smell is a mixture of coffee, bacon grease, and industrial cleaner. Chief Culinary Specialist Martinez has been awake since 0300. He oversees a team of 30 cooks who will prepare 18,000 meals today. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and midrats. 4 meal services for a crew of 4,500 sailors. That is 1 meal every 9.6 seconds for 18 straight hours. The math is brutal, the execution must be perfect. Because on a warship, morale is directly proportional to the quality of the food. Today's breakfast is scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, hash browns, pancakes, fresh fruit, and cereal. It sounds simple, but the eggs come from a powder. The bacon was frozen 3 months ago. The hash browns are reconstituted from dehydrated cubes. The fruit was loaded in Norfolk, Virginia, and the bananas are starting to show brown spots. But the cooks make it work. They add butter to the eggs, they crisp the bacon until it snaps, they pour syrup that is thick and sweet, because today the crew needs energy. Today the crew needs to be sharp. In the corner of the galley, seaman recruit Thompson is peeling potatoes. 500 pounds of potatoes. His hands are raw, his back aches. He has been peeling since 0330. He does not know that in 14 hours, the jets he hears screaming off the flight deck will be part of the largest coordinated strike in the Western Hemisphere. He just knows that if he does not finish these potatoes, Chief Martinez will make his life miserable. By 0500, the first wave of sailors shuffles into the mess deck. They are bleary-eyed, their coveralls are wrinkled, they smell like sweat and jet fuel. They grab plastic trays, they move through the line. Eggs, bacon, hash browns, coffee, black, always black. They sit at long tables bolted to the floor. They eat in silence. Some of them have been on watch for 6 hours. Some of them are about to start a 12-hour shift in the reactor compartment. Some of them are pilots who will fly into Venezuelan airspace in less than 24 hours. But right now, they are just tired people eating breakfast on a floating steel island in the middle of the Caribbean. 0600 hours, the flight deck. This is the most dangerous workplace on Earth. A rectangle of non-skid coating the size of 3 football fields, jets parked wingtip to wingtip, fuel lines snaking across the deck like anacondas, ordnance carts loaded with bombs and missiles, and everywhere people, sailors in colored jerseys, yellow for aircraft handlers, purple for fuel, red for ordnance, green for catapult and arresting gear, blue for chalk and chain, brown for plane captains, white for safety and quality assurance. Each color is a job, each job is life or death. The wind is 15 knots. The sun is just breaking over the horizon. The ocean is a deep, endless blue. And on the bow, aviation bosun's mate First Class Rodriguez is inspecting Catapult 1, the electromagnetic aircraft launch system, EMALS. This is the Ford's most revolutionary technology. No steam, no pistons. Just electromagnets that accelerate a 70,000-pound fighter jet from 0 to 165 miles per hour in 2 seconds. It is smooth, it is precise, and when it works, it is beautiful. Rodriguez runs his hand along the shuttle track. He checks the tension on the holdback bar. He radios the catapult control station below deck. Cat 1 is green, ready for cyclic ops. His voice is calm, professional, but his heart is pounding because today is not a drill. Today, the jets will be carrying live ordnance. Today, every launch matters. 30 feet behind him, Aviation Ordnanceman's second class Kim is loading an AIM-120 AMRAAM missile onto the wing pylon of an FA-18 Super Hornet. The missile weighs 335 pounds. It costs $1.4 million. It can hit a target 50 miles away. Kim has loaded thousands of these missiles in her career, but today she knows this one might actually be fired. She tightens the last bolt. She steps back. She gives a thumbs up to the plane captain. The jet is armed. All across the flight deck, this scene is repeating. 40 jets are being prepped for launch. FA-18 Super Hornets, EA-18 Growlers, E-2D Hawkeyes, each one is a piece of a massive puzzle, a puzzle that has been planned for months, a puzzle that will come together in the darkness over Venezuela. But the sailors on the flight deck do not see the big picture. They see a bolt that needs tightening. They see a fuel line that needs connecting. They see a tire that needs checking. They do their job. They trust that someone else is doing theirs, and somehow, impossibly, it all works. 0800 hours, the bridge. This is the brain of the ship. Floor-to-ceiling windows, radar screens glowing green, radio chatter crackling through overhead speakers. And in the center, standing like a statue, is Captain Ellison. He is 47 years old. He has been in the Navy for 25 years. He has flown combat missions over Iraq and Afghanistan. And for the last 18 months, he has commanded the most powerful warship in the world. Today, his job is simple: keep the ship in position, maintain communications with the strike group, and launch 70 aircraft in 6 hours without killing anyone. Simple. The officer of the deck, Lieutenant Commander Harris, is monitoring the ship's position. Captain, we are holding station at 10 degrees north, 66 degrees west. Wind is 15 knots from the northeast. See State 3, flight deck is green. Captain Ellison nods. He does not smile. He does not make jokes. He is a machine that runs on coffee and responsibility. He lifts his binoculars. He scans the horizon. To the south, somewhere beyond that blue line, is Venezuela, Caracas, Maduro, the target, but from here it is just water. Endless, empty water. Below the bridge in the Carrier Air Traffic Control Center, the real choreography is happening. Air Boss Commander Shaw is orchestrating the launch sequence. On a wall-sized screen, icons represent every aircraft in the air and on the deck. This is three-dimensional chess. Every jet has a launch time, every jet has a mission, every jet has to be in the right place at the right time or the entire operation falls apart. Viper 2-1, you're cleared for Cat 3, good luck. Shaw's voice is steady. He has launched 10,000 aircraft in his career, but today feels different. Today the stakes are not theoretical. Today the enemy might shoot back. 1000 hours, below decks, deep in the belly of the ship, far from the sunlight and the wind, the nuclear reactor is humming. This is the heart of the Ford, 2A1B reactors, each one producing enough energy to power a small city. This ship does not need fuel. It does not need to refuel for 25 years. It is a floating nuclear power plant with a flight deck bolted on top. Machinist's mate First Class Davis is monitoring Reactor 1. He sits in a small room surrounded by gauges, dials, and screens. Temperature, pressure, flow rate, neutron flux, every number must be perfect. Every number must be stable, because if something goes wrong down here, the entire ship becomes a radioactive tomb. Davis has been on watch for 4 hours. He has 4 more to go. His eyes are dry. His back hurts. He drinks coffee from a steel thermos. He watches the numbers. And he tries not to think about the fact that in a few hours this ship will be in a combat zone. The reactor does not care about combat. The reactor does not care about politics. The reactor just needs to be fed. Coolant flows through the core at thousands of gallons per minute. Steam spins the turbines. Electricity powers the catapults, the radars, the lights, the ovens in the galley where Chief Martinez is already prepping lunch. It is a closed loop, a perfect system. And as long as Davis keeps the numbers stable, the ship keeps moving. But the isolation is crushing. Down here there are no windows, there is no daylight, there is no way to know if it is morning or midnight. Time is measured by watch rotations and the taste of the coffee. Fresh coffee means it is a new pot. Burnt coffee means it has been sitting for hours. Right now the coffee tastes like burnt rubber. Davis sighs, 2 more hours, 1200 hours. Lunch is being served. The line stretches down the passageway. Sailors in coveralls shuffle forward with trays. Today's menu is grilled chicken, rice, green beans, and rolls. There is also a salad bar, a sandwich station, and the ever-present soft-serve ice cream machine. Petty Officer Second Class Nguyen grabs a tray. She is an aviation electronics technician. She spent the morning troubleshooting a radar glitch on an E-2D Hawkeye. Her hands are stained with grease. Her uniform is soaked with sweat. She is exhausted. She loads her tray with chicken, rice, and 3 rolls. She skips the vegetables. She heads for the soft-serve machine. The ice cream machine is the social hub of the ship. Sailors wait in line, talking quietly, making jokes, complaining about their chiefs. For 2 minutes they are not sailors. They are just people who want ice cream. Nguyen fills a cup with chocolate swirl. She sits at a table near the back. She eats in silence. Around her the noise is deafening. Conversations in a dozen languages. Laughter, arguments, the clatter of trays. This is the sound of 4,500 people living on top of each other. At a table near the front, a group of pilots is huddled together. They are quiet, serious. They are reviewing maps, call signs, frequencies. They know that in a few hours they will be in the cockpit. They know that tonight they will fly into hostile airspace. They know that the Venezuelan military has anti-aircraft missiles. They know that people might die. But they do not talk about that. They talk about fuel loads, they talk about waypoints, they talk about the job. Lieutenant Buzz Carver is a Super Hornet pilot. He is 29 years old. He has 200 carrier landings. He has flown missions over Syria, but he has never dropped ordnance on a live target. Tonight that might change. He stares at his plate. The chicken is dry. The rice is bland. He eats anyway. Fuel for the body, fuel for the mission. 1,400 hours. The hangar bay, this is the largest enclosed space on the ship. A cathedral of steel. Jets are parked in tight rows. Maintenance crews are swarming over them like ants. Panels are open. Tools are scattered on the deck. The air smells like hydraulic fluid and jet fuel. Aviation structural mechanic 3rd Class Lopez is replacing a cracked panel on the underside of a Super Hornet. The panel is held in place by 42 screws. Each screw must be torqued to exactly 35 inch-pounds. Too loose and the panel will vibrate off in flight. Too tight and the threads will strip. Lopez has replaced this panel 100 times. His hands move automatically. Loosen, remove, align, install, tighten, check, repeat 42 times. Around him the noise is overwhelming. Pneumatic drills, metal on metal, engines being tested, radio chatter, and over the loudspeaker a constant stream of announcements. Aviation, set condition zebra. All hands stand by for flight quarters. The words wash over him. He focuses on the panel. Screw number 38, 35 inch-pounds, perfect. Nearby, aviation machinist's mate 2nd Class Jackson is troubleshooting a fuel leak on a growler. Fuel is dripping from a connection point on the wing. It is a slow drip, 1 drop every 3 seconds. But on a carrier, a fuel leak is not a minor problem. A fuel leak is a fire waiting to happen, and a fire on a carrier is a death sentence for everyone aboard. Jackson tightens the connection. The drip stops. He waits. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, no drip. He wipes the area clean with a rag. He steps back. He radios the maintenance chief. Fuel leak on Growler 407 is secured. Aircraft is up. His voice is calm, but his hands are shaking because he knows that in a few hours this jet will be in combat, and if that connection fails, the pilot dies. 1,600 hours, the ready room. This is where the pilots wait. It is a small auditorium with rows of leather chairs bolted to the floor. Each chair has a pilot's name on it, call signs stitched into the leather. Buzz, Viper, Hammer, Ghost. These are not names, these are identities. The room is full, 30 pilots in flight suits. They are watching a briefing on a large screen. The intelligence officer is walking them through the mission, target locations, threat analysis, rules of engagement, escape and evasion procedures. The slides are dense with information. Maps, coordinates. Timelines, the pilots take notes, they ask questions, they memorize every detail because in combat there is no time to look at a map. Your primary target is Fort Tiuna. This is the headquarters of the Venezuelan military. It is heavily defended. We expect AAA fire and possible surface-to-air missiles. You will approach from the north at low altitude to avoid radar detection. Your time on target is 0130 local. Ordnance is GBU-12 paveway laser-guided bombs. 1 per aircraft. You will be supported by growlers providing electronic warfare and wild weasel suppression. Any questions? No one speaks. The room is silent. These are professionals. They have trained for this. They have rehearsed this, but training is not combat. Training is safe. Combat is chaos. Combat is fear. Combat is the unknown. Lieutenant Carver stares at the screen. His target is a hangar at Fort Tiuna. He will drop a 500-pound bomb from 15,000 feet. The bomb will guide itself using a laser designator. It will punch through the roof. It will detonate inside. The hangar will cease to exist. Simple, clean, except there might be people inside, people who will die, people who have families, people who are just doing their jobs like he is. Carver pushes the thought away, he focuses on the mission. Altitude, airspeed, weapons, parameters. This is not personal, this is not political, this is the job. He signed up for this. He trained for this. And tonight he will do this. 1800 hours, dinner is being served, the galley is slammed. The line is twice as long as usual, everyone wants to eat before flight operations begin. Chief Martinez and his team are moving like machines, trays are loaded, food is served, the rhythm is automatic. Steak, mashed potatoes, corn, roll, next. Steak, mashed potatoes, corn, roll, next. Over and over, the steak is not great, it is thin, it is tough, but it is steak. And on a warship, steak means something. It means the captain is trying, it means the Navy cares. It means that even though you are about to fly into a war zone, someone wanted you to have a good meal first. Seaman Thompson is washing dishes. He has been washing dishes for 8 hours. His hands are red and raw from the hot water, his back aches from standing, but he does not complain, he does not ask why. He just washes dishes, plate after plate after plate, because this is his job. And on a warship, everyone has a job. The pilots fly, the mechanics fix. The cooks cook, and Thompson washes dishes. It is not glamorous, it is not exciting, but it matters, because if the dishes are not clean, the cooks cannot serve food. And if the cooks cannot serve food, the crew cannot eat. And if the crew cannot eat, the ship cannot function. So Thompson washes dishes. And the ship keeps moving, 2000 hours, the sun is setting. The sky is a mix of orange and purple. The ocean is calm, and on the flight deck the ballet is beginning. Aircraft are being moved into position. Catapult crews are running final checks. Ordnance teams are doing last-minute inspections. And everywhere, sailors in colored jerseys are moving with purpose. The air boss is on the loudspeaker. Flight quarters, all hands man your flight quarters stations. Prepare to launch aircraft. The words echo across the ship. In the galley, Chief Martinez and his team are cleaning up from dinner. In the reactor room, machinist's mate Davis is handing off his watch to the next operator. In the hangar bay, aviation structural mechanic Lopez is torquing the last screw on the panel. Everyone is doing their job, everyone is part of the machine. On the flight deck, Lieutenant Carver is climbing into his cockpit. He straps in, he connects his oxygen mask, he runs through his pre-flight checklist. Fuel check, weapons check, radios check, hydraulics check. His hands move automatically. He has done this 1,000 times, but tonight is different. Tonight, the bomb under his wing is not a training dummy. Tonight, the target is not a painted X in the desert. Tonight, this is real. The plane captain gives him a thumbs up. Carver returns the gesture. He starts the engines. The twin turbines spool up with a roar. The jet vibrates. The flight deck is alive with sound, engines, wind, radio chatter. And underneath it all, the steady thrum of the ship's reactors pushing the Ford through the water at 30 knots. 2100 hours. The first jet is hooked to the catapult. The shuttle is locked. The holdback is engaged. The pilot runs up the engines to full power. The jet is screaming. The deck is shaking. And then the catapult fires. 2 seconds, 0 to 165 miles per hour. The jet is hurled into the sky like a stone from a slingshot. The sound is a physical force. It punches you in the chest. It rattles your teeth. And then silence. The jet is gone, a red light disappearing into the darkness. The next jet moves into position, hook, lock, launch again and again and again. 70 aircraft in 6 hours, one every 5 minutes. The rhythm is hypnotic, the precision is terrifying. And every single person on that flight deck knows that one mistake, one miscommunication, one moment of inattention and someone dies. But there are no mistakes. The yellow shirts guide the jets. The purple shirts pump the fuel, the red shirts load the ordnance, the green shirts operate the catapults, the blue shirts secure the chains, the brown shirts check the engines, the white shirts oversee it all. And slowly, methodically, impossibly, the flight deck empties. The jets are in the air, the mission is underway, 2300 hours, the galley is serving midrats, midnight rations. This is the meal for the night shift. For the people who keep the ship running while everyone else sleeps. Tonight it is leftover steak, mashed potatoes and pie, apple pie, the kind that comes from a can but somehow still tastes like home. Petty Officer Nguyen is sitting alone at a table. She is off watch. She should be sleeping, but she cannot sleep, so she eats pie. She watches the sailors around her. They are quiet, subdued, because everyone knows that right now the jets are over Venezuela. Right now the bombs are falling. Right now people are dying. In the reactor room, the new watchstander is monitoring the gauges. The reactors are running hot, the ship is generating maximum power to support the flight operations. The numbers are perfect. The system is stable, and far above on the flight deck the catapults are still launching jets into the night. 0100 hours, the bridge is silent. Captain Ellison is staring at a radar screen. Icons are moving across the display, each one is an aircraft, each one is a life. He watches as they converge on Caracas. He watches as they reach their targets, and then he waits. The radio crackles. Viper 2-1 target hit RTB, return to base, 1 down, 69 to go. Hammer 1-3 target hit RTB. Ghost 4-7 target hit RTB. The reports come in one by one, the mission is working, the bombs are hitting their targets, the pilots are coming home, and in a compound in Caracas, Delta Force is breaching a door. They are grabbing a man in a gray tracksuit, they are blindfolding him, they are loading him onto a helicopter. And Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, is about to become a prisoner. But on the Ford no one knows that yet, they just know their part. The captain keeps the ship in position, the air boss manages the airspace, the reactor operators keep the power flowing, the maintainers fix the jets as they land, the cooks prepare the next meal, and the ship keeps moving. 0300 hours. The last jet lands, the tailhook catches the wire, the jet slams to a stop, the pilot shuts down the engines, he climbs out of the cockpit, his legs are shaking, his hands are trembling, he has been flying for 6 hours, he has dropped his bomb, he has completed his mission, and now he is exhausted. Aviation bosun's mate Rodriguez unhooks the jet from the wire, he guides it to a parking spot, he chocks the wheels, he chains the jet to the deck, and then he looks up at the sky. It is still dark, the stars are bright. And somewhere out there beyond the horizon, a dictator is on his way to New York. But Rodriguez does not know that, he just knows his job is done for tonight. He walks across the flight deck. His boots are heavy, his body aches. He has been on his feet for 20 hours. He heads below deck. He walks through the maze of passageways. He reaches his berthing compartment. He climbs into his rack. The mattress is thin, the space is tight, but it is his. He closes his eyes, and within seconds he is asleep. 0500 hours, the galley is alive again, Chief Martinez is back, his team is back, they are preparing breakfast. Scrambled eggs, bacon, hash browns, coffee, the same meal as yesterday, the same meal as tomorrow. Because on a warship the routine never stops, the mission never ends, the work is never done. Seaman Thompson is peeling potatoes again, 500 pounds, his hands are raw, his back aches, but he does not complain. Because this is his job, and today, just like yesterday, the crew needs to eat. The pilots need energy, the mechanics need fuel, the reactor operators need coffee, and Thompson will make sure they have it, one potato at a time. By 0600, the first sailors are shuffling into the mess deck. They grab trays, they move through the line, eggs, bacon, hash browns, coffee, they sit at long tables, they eat in silence. Some of them were flying last night, some of them were launching jets. Some of them were monitoring reactors. But right now they are just tired people eating breakfast on a floating steel island in the Caribbean. And somewhere far to the south in the wreckage of Fortuna, Venezuelan soldiers are picking through the rubble. They are counting the bodies, they are asking questions, they are wondering what happened to their president. But on the Ford, life goes on. The catapults are being inspected, the jets are being refueled, the galley is serving breakfast, and the ship keeps moving. Because that is what the Ford does, it moves, it launches, it recovers, it feeds, it powers, it repairs. It is a machine made of steel and sweat and coffee and discipline, a machine operated by 4,500 people who each do one small job. And when you put all those small jobs together, you get this. You get a floating city that can project power anywhere on Earth. You get a warship that can capture a dictator without losing a single sailor. You get the USS Gerald R. Ford. CVN-78. The most advanced aircraft carrier ever built, the flagship of American power, the home of 4,500 sailors who will never get a parade, who will never be on the news, who will never be thanked by the people they protect. They will just do their jobs, they will peel potatoes, they will wash dishes, they will tighten bolts, they will monitor gauges, they will launch jets, and they will keep the ship moving. Because that is what sailors do, they serve, they sacrifice, they endure. And they do it all in silence, the silent service of the surface fleet. The unsung heroes of the deep blue, the men and women of the USS Gerald R. Ford, they are not celebrities, they are not politicians, they are not generals, they are just sailors. And on January 2nd, 2026, they changed history. One meal, one bolt, one launch at a time. If you think you could spend 6 months on a floating city in the middle of the ocean, hit that like button. If the idea of peeling 500 pounds of potatoes makes you nauseous, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the hidden world of the military. Until next time, fair winds and following seas.